How do you, Mike Posner, tap into creativity? How do you get out of the way of yourself enough to allow yourself? I've heard you, and other artists and such use language like channeling. The music moves through me. It's not me. You can't thank me. I'm just a vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that experience
Well,
for
all
an
of it's
artist?
true. All of it sounds a little pretentious, but all those things are true. And I think the creativity, the inspiration is always there. It's just a matter of being open to it, and I guess widening the aperture of one's consciousness or awareness to hear the inspiration. So, I'm blessed with a gift for sure that I think came with my being. My mom tells me stories from before I can remember of me being in the backyard and the birds are chirping and I'm trying to like sing the melodies back. So I think that was a gift that just came with my software, that I was given, or hardware rather. And so, but it's something I've developed clearly. Clearly I've developed it.
Yeah.
Over my lifetime. That's what you should do with a gift. You should take care of it and you should make the most of it and you should share it. But your question was about creativity. Yeah, man, I found some hacks for me that make me more open more of the time, and there's a lot of the stuff you already do. We just did a breathwork session, that definitely, I had an idea for a song.
Yeah, well, it came
now.
up. You pulled your recorder or cell phone or whatever.
Yeah,
it was
just had a little
afterwards.
idea, a little lyric, little melody, and maybe that will expand into a song. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll expand into a song I don't use, and then there's another lyric I write in that song that I use in another. You never know what stuff can turn into. But the things that help me be more open are exercise, meditation, all stuff that happens to also just be good for a human being, breath work. And also just listening. Sometimes it comes when you're not expecting it, and inspiration can't be counted upon because it comes when it wants to. Sometimes you got to be a professional and just kind of like go to work even when inspiration isn't there. But when inspiration does come, I think it's really important to ride that wave until it crashes.
What gets in the way of inspiration for you, and how do you alchemize those things that may get in the way into something that feels beautiful or feels like art or feels like expression?
Yeah, what gets in the way is thinking about what anyone other than me thinks about a piece. If I'm writing a song or I'm writing a prose or creating anything, if I start to think about, will Aaron think this is cool? Will my audience think this is cool? Will my manager think this is cool? It's done. That's like poison to creativity, because I believe an artist's job is to create the art that they want to exist in the world, period. And that's a really cool job. And it's cool because there's no second sentence. There's no asterisk to that. There's no caveat. Your job is to create what you think is beautiful, and no one else can do that but you.
Yeah.
Right? I can't write the songs that someone else could write. No one else could write the songs I can write. Oh, it's up to me.
Yeah.
And so that's a very beautiful way to make a living, and I'm grateful for it for sure.
I heard I was listening to a podcast with Rick Rubin, and he was talking about art being kind of like a diary entry, like a journal entry.
Yeah.
And how honest you are in your diary. Like, it'd be very weird if you were like lying to yourself in your private diary.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
It would.
But then so much of our lives is kind of like, oh, like don't look at my diary. Like, I don't want someone to see this part of myself. But then it seems like that's kind of like the gift and like the value of the artist in culture is kind of leading with expressing that, like, the bleeding edge of themselves.
Yeah.
And putting it out into the world, which is what we all actually desire.
Yes.
It's just we're afraid to do it.
The artist plays a non-trivial role in society, because often artists, myself included, become artists because we struggle to connect in normal ways.
Yeah.
Like in dialogue, in expression, we often feel like, oh, I don't really feel like connected to anyone through talking. That's how I used to feel. But in the music, I could really connect.
Right.
And what you find is you're essentially like sending out a like Morse code into the ether,
Right.
and saying, this is what it's fucking like for me to be me.
Yeah.
And no one gets it. And what happens is the more honestly you send that code, the more the honest that coding is, people go, they hear it and they go, fuck, thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like to be me. I didn't even know how to say it. I'm not the only one. I'm not alone. It's a connection of human to human, and it can save lives. It's a non-trivial role. And the trippy, also like extra beautiful part about it is, in my case, music, and I guess all mediums of art, transcends time and space. Meaning, I can record a song, and I'm recording it at my house into my microphone, and the person is going to receive it in another place. And I'm recording it in the present moment, in my right now. It's received by the listener in a different right now. So it goes from now to now. So it transcends time in a very weird way, and transcends space in a very weird way. And I often think about the person that may connect with a piece I'm working on isn't even born yet. Like, how beautiful is that? Because that's been my experience with other people's art.
Well,
When I go look at a Van Gogh, I'm not trying to compare myself to Van Gogh, but I go look at a Van Gogh, if it does something to me. I've been brought to tears by a Van Gogh. He's long gone. You know, he didn't know about a cell phone. He didn't know about Nas. He didn't know about the hip hop I listened to growing up. He didn't know about a podcast, but he was so honest in his expression of what it was like for him to be human, that it connected with something in me and what it's like for me to be human. And that's just, it's beautiful.
Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. If you did, feel free to tag us on the Instagram. You can find me at Aaron Alexander on there. Also check out the YouTube channel, that is at Align Podcast. Subscribe over there so you get each week's videos and instructional content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for reviews. Thanks for joining you. I'll see you next week.